So I'm here with Brock Charles Spurgeon. Is that right? Am I saying your name right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you're one of the leaders of the Park Watch group. So what's going on with tonight's meeting? What's it about?
The rallies are to raise awareness and hopefully get more members, more people involved.
Right. So you can go to Park Watch GP on Facebook.
Yes, sir.
And join up. The more members, the better, for sure.
Mm-hmm. More volunteers. People listen to you more, and we vote. You know.
So we're getting a fair amount of press here lately. You've had a couple of interviews, or several interviews with national media.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, the Supreme Court, of course, it's not me. They're not interested in me too much. But they're in town, and they're basically interviewing anybody that has anything to do with what's going on in the parks. So we're just, one of many people being interviewed. And so far it's going pretty good. We have to be careful. We're here before and we're here after all this stuff that's going on. So it's just been a circus the last couple weeks,
So for those who don't know, what's the Supreme Court case about? What is it they're going to make a decision about?
Whether we have to allow people to sleep in the parks or not, or maybe what defines public property. Does it have to be a park, or is it any public property? So I don't know how it's going to go. It's going to get better.
In short, right now, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, the most overturned court in the U.S., by the way.
Yep.
They issued a stay or
there's an injunction.
Injunction.
There's an injunction right now. And so the city's afraid to do anything.
Right.
They won't do anything but sit on their hands.
And Grants Pass is not the only one. There are many.
I think it's Boise, Idaho.
If you go to scotusblog.com and look up this case, you'll see there's a large list of other cities that have signed on with amicus briefs.
Yeah. I think though Boise was part of the original lawsuit.
I see.
And part of the reason that Grants Pass, we lost that. We lost that lawsuit.
Right.
What was it about? I think it's about 4 or 5 years ago, which allowed people to sleep in the parks.
Right, and then the Ninth Circuit upheld that.
They upheld it.
And so, if we can believe in our Supreme Court, they will certainly This seems like a slam dunk to me.
I think it is. I think they're going to have some sort of solution of where we're going to put the people. I mean, as much as you want to, you can't just put them in a bus where. I mean, we got to figure out. We need to have a plan now. Whichever way it lands, we need to have plans to figure out what we're going to do with these people. I mean, we can get them out of the parks, but what, are they just going to hang out in the alleys and in the streets? I mean,
well,
they're going to have to give us some kind of direction.
Yeah, this is a whole nother issue.
Yeah, and that's the after effect.
And whether it's the city's financial responsibility to take care of these people in some way. And I think there are people who will make a case on both sides of this that somehow it's your obligation, and then others will say, we pay taxes and these parks are for the people who pay taxes, and so it's not our responsibility to make sure that these people are taken care of. There are organizations which will take care of some people, but you have to jump through certain hoops like obeying rules and things of this nature.
No smoking, no pets.
Right. Yeah, things of this nature.
Yeah.
And so one thing that I noticed in many of the articles is they mention all the people that they interviewed who were down on their luck, or they are impoverished because of medical treatment or something like this that is taking all their money away, and they don't have the money to live in a house like normal people do.
Right. You're more of your average homeless person.
Right. And what percentage of the homeless that you're encountering in the park would you say fit that description?
I'd say 80% have substance abuse problems.
80% or so.
And
so they don't fit the profile that I just gave you.
No, they're not the problem. I mean, we don't want people sleeping. No one wants people sleeping in the parks. We want to figure something else out, but they're not the ones leaving needles and paraphernalia and just crap everywhere. So yeah, they were kind of deceiving a little bit. I mean, they were honest with my story, what they said about me. At least they showed you that grody picture.
Yes.
And that's what I'm talking about. So I got one photo out of all the photos they took. But I think even they understand. The left understands. What the.
Well, this is an interesting conundrum for them because they're city dwellers in most cases, and cities like San Francisco are just inundated with this right now and crime.
They're curious because this isn't. We're not nearly as bad as, say, Portland or San Francisco.
Right.
But they're interested that we're stepping up before it gets that bad. And I don't think they did in the cities. They just kind of let it happen and gave it up.
Right.
And we can't just give it up. In fact, we're going to take the parks back with our presence just by getting enough people there and being at the park. Drug addicts don't like to use their drugs in front of a bunch of straight people with cameras in their hands.
So this is an interesting thing. We're standing out on the corner of 6th and A Street in Grants Pass. We're barely able to have this conversation because of the people honking. There's people here with Park Watch signs, and the locals know what this means.
Yeah.
They know what it's about, and they've been having to put up with this for a couple of years now.
Yeah, it's been a few years. The last couple have been really bad.
We're perhaps near a solution here.
I think so.
Perhaps near at least a judgment that allows authorities to do more.
Yes.
In other words, they won't have the excuse that they've had up to now, which is there's an injunction, we can't do anything.
Right. Well, we look at how much money we spend each year on supposed to be drug prevention, but what is it, like $180 million we spent last year? And what are we getting? It's getting worse. The more money they spend. So there's big money in it. The money's going somewhere.
Right.
And there's a lot of money in outreach, a lot of money in nonprofits and stuff. So that's what we're up against. We're up against people with a lot of money and a lot of power. And we're not asking for a lot. Be responsible of your stuff. If nonprofits want to provide stuff for people, make sure that it's not getting wasted. And if it is getting wasted, get your butts out there to the parks with us and pick it up.
Right.
Let's start having a little responsibility.
I appreciate it, Brock. So listen, Park Watch GP on Facebook.
Yep.
Go there and join up. They'd be happy to have you. And you can see videos like this and pictures and articles that are posted on this topic.
Yep. We're working for the kids. We're working for cleaning up for the sports kids right now. So we're making sure they're playing in safe, clean parks.
Excellent.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Mike.